Hello and welcome to a club briefing on junior cricket in Hampshire. My name is Mike Pollard and I'm a Senior Cricket Development Manager here at the Hampshire Cricket Board. And today's briefing will be on the Hampshire Junior Cricket Championships. For those of you who will remember right at the beginning last year, Rob Pfeiffer who was involved at the time. He came around, delivered a series of sort of meetings and proposal regarding junior cricket coming over to the Hampshire Cricket Board. Also involved now is Matt Bradley, who's recently joined us and is Cricket Development Officer for clubs and junior competitions, and Graham Dodsworth, who will be the Hampshire Junior Cricket Championships Fixture Secretary. Through the presentation, we may refer to this as the HJCC, which will be the abbreviated version throughout. One of the main things really throughout this process has been establishing a transition group, which has involved a number of people from different districts who can come together and looked at the various aspects throughout. We've also created two subcommittees, one being the rules and one also being processes, which again has looked at ensuring that we're hitting all the areas to ensure a successful competition. At the end of this presentation, once you listen to it, with the information that's been sent out, you will have opportunity to give feedback via a form, and more information will be provided on our website. So just a bit of a recap really regarding the proposal and objectives. So when we first came out to you last year now, it was regarding Hampshire Cricket Board looking to take on junior competitions within Hampshire, and the idea was to create a management committee which would administer all junior cricket throughout the county. Some of the objectives on this were to reduce the strain on volunteer committees, which currently exist throughout the county, produce a streamlined playing formats, and to pool resources to create saving and efficiencies throughout. We're aware there are many pressures on volunteers and within committees, and we were made aware of this through our sort of tour throughout the county when speaking to districts. And some of these are on the screen now, which just sort of demonstrates some of the pressures which are currently involved. And we're hoping through taking on the running of the junior competitions, we can help to alleviate some of these pressures. So the competition aims and objectives. These are also within our constitution, which you'll be able to see and view on our website. There are a number of sort of aims throughout this, one of which is really regarding us facilitating cricket competitions for different abilities and age ranges right the way through as they transition into senior cricket. The second one is very much around sort of increasing participation in junior cricket across all sort of formats, as we look to try and help the development and growth of the game and help it to continue to thrive as we go through. The third one is very much around supporting sort of the Hampshire Cricket's player pathway and ensuring that cricket meets the needs of players of various abilities. And to also make sure that we're in line with recommendations which may well come down from the ECB, so we're able to act on this quickly and swiftly. Big aspect of this is very much around spirit of cricket. This is something which we want to ensure is a key area and at the heart of everything we do, and ensure that we all abide by the various ECB code of conduct. Laws of cricket, this is something which will be followed throughout, although there may well be some enhancement of some of the rules within the competitions. Safeguarding of young people and welfare of players is imperative, and inclusivity and equality, and hopefully we'll demonstrate through the presentation really on how we aim to do that. And finally, without volunteers, we don't have a game. So very much for us, the support and development of volunteers is key, and we will look to support this throughout the county to enable the game to progress. When designing the rules, we came up with some core principles, which the rules subcommittee, which we put in place, would take into consideration to ensure at all times we bear these in mind. So we came up with 6 principles. Number 1 is about creating the right environment for young people to play cricket where they feel safe and have a variety of formats which allow them, whatever their ability, to play. 2 is around delivering player-focused opportunities. This is about ensuring that the players' needs come first. This will, of course, evolve throughout the years as we get to hear from more junior players as the season goes on, and Graham will refer to this later when he talks around how we have designed some of the rules for this year. Third one is around developing a lifelong passion for the game. How can we create a love for the game so we have as many players coming back and wanting to pick up a bat and a ball? 4 is providing a player pathway to enable junior cricketers to reach their full potential. So this is very much about developing talent so that players who do have ability can have the opportunity to thrive and progress. 5, championing player retention, retaining more players in the game for longer and transitioning into adult cricket. And finally, number 6 is innovating and leading the way. This is about bringing new ideas to help the game grow, be it new exciting rules / different formats. I'm now going to hand over to Matt, who's going to talk about some of the playing offers.
Okay, so now I'm going to talk you through what the Hampshire Junior Cricket Championships will offer in terms of cricket. We're going to start with the playing offer for mixed leagues. By mixed leagues, we mean that the boys and girls are allowed to play within these leagues. You'll see from the screen there's a mention of Tier 1 and Tier 2. That's the model we're going with. It's similar to what previous A and B leagues, that's what used to be used. We're referring to Tier 1 and Tier 2 now. There'll be a Tier 1 and Tier 2 split on all open age groups. So that's under the hardball cricket, that's under 11s, under 13s and under 15s. There'll be a Tier 1 and Tier 2 split, but also then for under 17s, there'll be one tier only and all teams will enter at the same level. To touch a little bit around the Tier 1 and 2, Tier 1 is more focused on performance, whereas Tier 2 is more of a focus on player involvement and inclusion. We still want player involvement and inclusion within Tier 1, but Tier 1 also allows players, for example, in performance setups or more advanced players to test themselves against similar players. Noting from the slide there, the point of note is under 11s Tier 2 league is going to be a pairs format. It'll still be hardball cricket, but it'll be played in a pairs format. The rationale behind that, as we said, Tier 2 competitions are more of a focus on player involvement and inclusion rather than performance. And players, particularly under 11s, are more likely to be in the earlier stages of their cricketing journey. So hopefully pairs cricket will help us meet that aim. All of the older age groups, so under 13s and under 15s, the Tier 2 competition will remain as standard rules. As well, for the mixed leagues, we're also going to be offering softball, pairs leagues under 9s, under 11s and under 13s. Under 13s softball league will be run if there's enough entries and interest from clubs, but certainly under 9s and under 11s, and then obviously, as I said, under 13s if there's the interest and from the clubs. Tier 2 competitions therefore will contain a hardball and a softball leagues under 11s and 13s. This is again to meet the aims of Tier 2 being about involvement and inclusion. We've got that option of hardball cricket for those who want to progress on in their cricketing journey, but also we've got the softball option for those that aren't quite ready to move on to hardball cricket. They can stay involved in the game via softball competitions. So then we move on to the next slide, which is about an offer for girls leagues. So we're going to have hardball cricket league offers at under 11s, under 13s and under 16 age groups. This will be a north and south split, with the aim there being to ensure games are as local as possible and to minimise the travel where we can. Hardball League under 11s, same as the Tier 2 mixed league competition, will be a pairs format. Same reasons for that is the players are going to be in the earlier stages of their cricketing development. So pairs matches allow more players to get involved. To be in keeping with the principles for those competitions. There will be an opportunity for clubs to provide their feedback on that if they wish to for under 11 girls leagues, to be a standard rules or pairs rules via the feedback form at the end of this presentation. An assessment, we'll make an assessment once we get to entries on if we adopt a Tier 1 and Tier 2 model for girls competitions as well, or if we have just every team entering at the same level of competition. That's going to depend on the number of teams entering and opinions from clubs, which they can give via the feedback form. But as we said, we'll decide once we get the teams in whether we have a Tier 1 and Tier 2 model or if it's everyone in at the same level. As well for girls, we've also got under 9s and under 11s softball pairs leagues. These will be created with teams playing each other within the local area to try and minimise the travel. And again, we'll have under 13 softball league if we have the interest and demand from clubs for that. So moving on to the next slide, we've also got a playing offer for cups. So as well as the league offer, we're also trying to offer cup competitions for everybody playing hardball cricket. We'll start with the county cups. So the county cups are going to be open to all teams playing within Tier 1 competitions. So that's under 11s, under 13s and under 15s, as well as all girls teams at under 11s, under 13s and under 16s. The county cup format will be 100 ball matches, so similar to what's played in the 100. Which is the current format for the County Cup. We're also going to have separate cup competitions known as the Regional Cups. It'll be available for teams to enter within Tier 2 league competitions. The proposed format is a pairs format, 10 players a side. This is to encourage participation, as we've said, in keeping with the Tier 2 values, but it's also to provide a tactical element to the game. With the pairs format, the whole team will have to play well rather than maybe one or two individuals potentially dominating and winning a match on their own. For the cup competitions, we're going to have one free week or weekend for the first round where most teams are involved. And for both cup competitions, first round and second rounds will be regionalised to try and reduce the travel in the early rounds where we have more teams involved. And then there'll be a little bit more travel as we go through the cup rounds, just for the nature of cup competitions. And for all cups, both county and regional cups, they will only be open for entry for teams within the Hampshire border. For the next slide, our summer holiday provision, we're also looking to provide cricket in the summer holidays just to extend the season for juniors a little bit after the end of the regular season. The games will be looking for organised friendlies to be played from August the 1st onwards. And the current plan is to organise matches based upon the 100, which are 100 ball matches, with a similar model to what Winchester Warriors currently run. The format for all this is still to be confirmed, but that is the current plan at this moment. Matches will be in a league format, but there'll be no prize for winning the league. As we said, it's more like organised friendlies. We're aiming for a little bit more flexibility around this with the summer holidays. If possible, week where juniors are on holiday or away, teams may not be able to get a full side as regularly. But still allowing for cricket to be played through the summer holidays. More details on this will come out next year, but that is our plan for the summer holiday provision. I'm now going to hand over to Graham, who will talk through potential league structures.
Thank you. The potential league structures, I'd like to explain what a new league could look like. The information presented is based on 2023 data, and I must emphasise is a mock-up. We've taken into account travel and playing requirements. If you look at under 11 Tier 2, purple and green, we can see we go from Andover up to Basingstoke. Previously, these used to be in the central and north region. If you look at under 13 Tier 1 orange, we're looking at Trojans to Loxley, previously central and southeast. Under 13 Tier 2 blue, this includes Rockley, Liverpool and Alton, who are all in previously different districts. And lastly, under 15 Tier 2, purple and red, and over to Old Basin, which used to be central and north. For Girls League, up to and including under 11, it will be regionalised. Under 13 and under 16, north and south split is dependent upon entries. As you can see from the table, we've listed approximate mileage and time. This information was taken from Google Maps, not how quickly I drive. Under 11 Tier 2 and over to Basingstoke is approximately 22 miles and 27 minutes. Under 13 Tier 2 Rockley to Liphook, 16 miles, 30 minutes. But from Alton to Petersfield, it's 13 miles and 22 minutes. If we look at a summary of the rules, the number of players and overs, some divisions will be slightly different due to historic structures and specific requirements of districts at the proposal meetings early last year. And we will be asking for feedback as well. So for under 9s and under 11s, for pairs cricket is 8 or 10 players and 16 or 20 overs. All other leagues, the number of overs is 20. So for under 11 Tier 1, it's 9 aside, but for northern-based teams, it's 11 aside, potentially 9, but 11 would be their default. Under 11 Tier 2 is 8 or 10 aside, and for northern teams, it's 10/8 aside. For under 13, 15, and under 17, Tier 1 and Tier 2 teams is 9/11 aside, 9 is the default. And for northern-based teams, under 13, 15, and 17, it's 11 aside, with 9 aside if clubs cannot get enough players together. Please note, girls' cricket is 8 aside, as mentioned in the play-in offer for girls previously mentioned by Matt. In regards to the retirement criteria, Tier 1, as we previously stated, is performance-based. So we have defined the retirement rules as follows. Under 11, 30, no return. Under 13, 40 and no return. Under 15/under 16, 50 and no return. This was based upon feedback from a survey carried out with junior players early in 2023. In Tier 2, it's all about participation. So for under 11, it's pairs, it's 4 overs. For under 13s, it's 30 runs or 8 overs, and the batter can return. And under 15, it's 40 or 8 overs, and the batter can return. In regards to allocation of points, we're trying to keep this really simple. So it's 4 for a win, 2 for a draw, and 1 for a loss. The 1 for a loss is to encourage teams to play. The reason for no bonus points is as the number of players can vary from one match to another, we want to keep the points allocation as simple as possible. Points to consider and feedback. So this is just some further information. All matches that are 20 overs, we would recommend 10 overs bowled from one end and then swap the batters to swap every 6 balls. We'd also like to encourage coloured clothing as in line with the current T20 and 100 county teams. The next 2 items we will look at requiring feedback on. So to aid participation, a minimum of 6 bowlers with a maximum of 4 overs per bowler. If someone does not bowl, they need to bat in the first 5 if it's 8 or 9 aside, or top 7 and 11 aside.
Okay, so about player eligibility. So for boys, not non-RPC county, there will be the opportunity for some players who perhaps are not quite at the development stage for that age group. They can request to play one age group down. For girls, non-county, but it does include RPC or the equivalent, what that may well be this year. We're saying that 2 years down in mixed cricket, regardless of tier. In regards of RPC, boys and county and girls county, boys cannot play in a tier 2 team unless the club does not have a team in tier 1. There is a loan arrangement in place, which clubs can take advantage of, and any issues or questions with this can be directed towards the management committee, which will be established. Boys RPC cannot play in a tier 2 team. again, unless they have a team in Tier 1, and again, loan arrangement is in place, and again, can be issued via contacting the management committee. For girls county players, we're saying that they can play 1 year down in a Tier 1 mixed league only. Okay, so in regards to administration, so some of the key things to bear in mind. We're aware that in previous years, districts have been different charges for different districts, different leagues. So what we're saying, after discussion in the processes group, we've come up with a £25 entry fee, which will cover league and cup entries. Play Cricket will be the vehicle used for not only communication, so we'll be asking teams to put their details on Play Cricket, which we will then ensure we contact them on that throughout the year. So we asked sort of clubs to keep that up to date, and obviously the fixtures will be on their own Hampshire Junior Cricket Championships page. Will be on there along with policies and rules, etc. Registration process, this will begin at the start of November, and the deadline will be around the beginning of December. Balls, this isn't something we're going to make mandatory, but what we are going to do, because we appreciate it can be quite a difficult thing, and trying to make it easy for clubs as possible, we will provide opportunities to provide match balls and purchase practice balls via direct supplier, and this information will be provided when entry information is sent out. Okay, so club benefits. So to help us create a love of the game for young people, so inspiring role models for them to look up to, we have a close link with Hampshire Cricket, which can help us achieve this. Some of the benefits would include shop offers. So there's a Hampshire shop here at the Ageas Bowl with various merchandise available to be bought, and there will be opportunities to take advantage of offers throughout the season. We're going to have a Junior Cricket Day where clubs can come along to a T20 match where juniors will get in for free and enjoy watching the stars out on the park, and this will be obviously available to all clubs involved in this competition. There'll also be other sort of selected matches where discounts will be applied and will be available, and we'll make clubs aware of that when that is the case. There'll be opportunities to become a mascot, something I know which many boys and girls would love to take advantage of, and there will be opportunities for them to be out on the pitch, and we will provide a simple form for you to get in touch with us regarding your sort of players' sons and daughters to get involved. And finally, a celebration event at the end of the summer in August. We're looking to tie in with probably a Metro Bank sort of 50 match, where clubs will be invited to come along and they will receive their awards on the pitch. So those that won leagues will receive their sort of trophy, we'll present sort of medals and that for cups, etc. as well at the same time, and you'll have your name on the big screen. So really try and bring together and celebrate, hopefully, which has been a really good summer. Let's hope better weather than this year, and everyone in one place enjoying what's been a successful season.
Okay, so Constitution and Management Committee. The Constitution for the Hampshire Junior Cricket Championships has been drawn up and is available via a link on the Hampshire Cricket Board website. As outlined within that Constitution, a Management Committee will be formed to oversee the overall running of the championships. The Management Committee in question will consist of 4 volunteers and 3 Hampshire Cricket Board employees. Other people may be co-opted onto the Management Committee as required, but the main consistency of that Management Committee and makeup of that Management Committee will be those 4 volunteers and 3 board employees. The volunteers for the Management Committee will be selected via an informal selection process with specified roles to be filled as displayed within that Constitution. And the Management Committee, once formed, will consult with clubs with regards to their opinions on the championships, both in the lead up to and post the inaugural first season, as well as then moving on for future seasons and competitions as well. So with We then move on to the timeline. So obviously now, September, this webinar presentation has been sent to you as clubs. You'll now have the opportunity throughout October to view this webinar presentation, discuss what is being proposed within your clubs, and provide feedback as you wish to via a feedback form available on the Hampshire Cricket Board website. The board will then, once we've collated that feedback, will then report back regarding what has been fed back by clubs. Also in October, districts will consult and confirm with their members their intentions regarding what they're going to be doing regarding junior cricket for the 2024 season. Moving into November, once the opportunity has been fed back, collated, the feedback has been taken in and collated, entries will then open for the 2024 season. In November, entries will then close in early December, with the league structure to then be released in January and the first draft fixtures to be released in February. February will also see the full rules and regulations released, as well as other policies relating to the championships. All fixtures, documents, etc. will be displayed on the Hampshire Junior Cricket Championships Play Cricket website, which is yet to go live. But once it is live with all the fixtures and documents on there, that will then translate to going on to individual clubs' websites. February will also be the time when we request payments for entry to the championship, for each team entry to the championships. The deadline for that will be April the 1st. The teams will have from February and March then to the 1st of April to pay their relevant fees. In March, we'll have a pre-season webinar that will be held to identify and discuss any further information clubs might need, run through any procedures, etc. before the start of the 2024 season, which will be the inaugural season of the Hampshire Junior Cricket Championships. March will also be the time when further details around the summer holiday competition will be sent out. Clubs will be asked to declare their interest in March, whether they wish to enter those summer holiday competitions. April fixtures will be confirmed and locked in and displayed on Play Cricket. And as mentioned previously, the deadline of April the 1st will also be there for clubs to pay their relevant entry fee, the deadline for their entry fees. April will also be the deadline for clubs to confirm whether they wish to enter the summer holiday competitions, and fixtures will also be sent out at the end of April. Come then May, all the talking will stop and the inaugural season of the Hampshire Junior Cricket Championships will start, run all the way through May, June and July, and then getting to August, we'll start our summer holiday competition. And August will also be the month, as mentioned previously, when a celebration event will take place to celebrate the successes of the season. So lots going on in a very short space of time, but it is certainly exciting times ahead for junior cricket in the county. So going into contacts, please do contact the Hampshire Cricket Board for anything to do with this webinar or to do with questions with the Hampshire Junior Cricket Championships and what's being proposed. Please do contact myself, Matt Bradley. I'm the Cricket Development Officer for Clubs and Junior Cricket. My email's displayed up there on the screen, but also Mike Pollard, Senior Cricket Development Manager, and Graham Dodsworth, Hampshire Junior Cricket Championship Fixture Secretary, and their contact information is also displayed up there. So thank you very much for taking the time to listen through this webinar. Hopefully the webinar has explained everything that the championships will offer clubs, the reasons behind what's being proposed, what we're trying to do and why we're trying to do it in certain ways. The webinar outlines plans for the 2024 summer and future summer seasons, but the plan is to have winter indoor programs for the 2024-25 indoor season at the earliest, and then onwards as well. Along with this presentation, there'll be a link to the Hampshire Cricket Board website with further information regarding the championships, and the board also welcomes club feedback, as mentioned, via a feedback form, which will be available for clubs to fill in, again, via that Hampshire Cricket Board webpage. All that's left to say is we hope that the championships will enhance junior cricket within Hampshire and will meet the aims and objectives for the season. A lot to be done in a short space of time, but it is certainly exciting times ahead for everybody. Thank you very much for listening.